I'm playing the Star Wars game. And they try to put the mechanics in there to get you hooked. Everyone's trying to do it. Everybody wants the hook mechanics. And so it's not enough to just beat a mission or a boss type character. Now you got to be upgrading and changing your lightsaber and your cloaks and your undergarments.
Yeah.
They want to get into your undergarments in the modern games. It's what their real target name is.
Not my undergarments.
And that brings me to this topic here. Call of Duty, they're set to release their Battle Royale game type in early March. Now, they've been talking about it for a really long time. Fortnite came and it hit hard. It was a heavy hitter, as you're aware. Maybe you didn't hear about it. I don't know. Fortnite got a couple players, dozen players, and they stole those dozen players from Call of Duty, and Call of Duty is here to come get them back. And by dozen, I mean dozen million, dozen billion, sir.
Yeah.
And the diehard Call of Duty types are saying, this is it. This is what it's about. Game on. Game on, Fortnite. I don't know if you remember, man. Call of Duty was a whole thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, it still is. It still is a whole thing, but it was a whole thing.
Tournaments and everything.
It was just a really hot content type. And then all of a sudden, a lot of Call of Duty people who were publishing Call of Duty videos, at least on YouTube, they just flipped to Fortnite because it was the hot title and it was catching views. As you would. And I mean, no, who wouldn't? That's what it is. If people are playing that, they want to see that and so forth. And a lot of it, when you look at Fortnite, you try to figure out the success, a lot of it has to do, yes, it's very colorful and engaging, but it's also some of the mechanical pieces around the entire ecosystem with the V-Bucks and the free-to-play. You get the game for free.
Yeah, cross-platform.
Yeah, it's just it's a weird...
Seasons.
Yeah, it's a battle pass. And so Call of Duty was obviously, we got to go do some version of it. We got to do this type of thing. They're going to call it Warzone. And they have some really unique, some of those mechanical pieces I'm talking about, some really unique ones in there that sound, they might hook some people even harder, which is hard to believe. But they might hook some people even harder. So obviously, this game mode is going to be offered right within the pre-existing game. But it's also going to be, you can download it independently and for free. So, of course, you have to have the free aspect to get the people involved. So that's going to be pretty interesting for a Call of Duty title to have a free download. Because typically, obviously, these games, what are they, $60? Something like this. And right now, the speculation is that March 10th is the most likely candidate for Warzone's release date. It's already a grayed out menu item inside of the game. But here's where things get interesting to me, is the special aspects that are going to exist. Yes, you're going to drop out of an airplane with a parachute because you got to do that. Battle Royale, PUBG, Fortnite. But they go a step further. All right, Fortnite's got the V-Bucks and so forth, and you get a skin. That never really worked that much on me because it didn't really change the gameplay, right? There's always this thing about, should skins or those gamification aspects, could they impact the actual game? If they did, now things start to get interesting. And I'm not saying that you pay. I'm not saying
pay to win.
The paid aspect. I'm saying the earnings. If you are loyal, you play the most, you play the best. Should you have opportunities within the game that the other people who don't shouldn't? From now, you can imagine if you're a game developer from an addiction standpoint. Ooh, how are you going to check out? Well, that didn't World of Warcraft have that stuff going on?
Well, yeah, there's like raids where you like go with a group and then you kill bosses and then you get better items.
But your items are not just visual.
No,
You're getting better in the thing, and then you say, I can't leave. I can't put this guy down. This dude is level 2,000 with the hot outfit and the heavy sledgehammer.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing right now. I'm just guessing right now. I never played the game. I can't lay that dude down right now. I'm too invested. And that's where things... Okay, I'm going to just read it to you for a quick second here. Just like other battle royale games, Warzone will have players parachuting onto a large map and looting buildings for gear. As is typical for the genre, by the way, this is videogameschronicle.com. Just like as is typical for the genre, it will also feature an ever-decreasing play area. So you get the shrinking play area. In this case, it'll be surrounded by chemical gas, forcing combatants to battle it out until a single player or team remains. Okay, that's standard stuff. Support for up to 200 players in a single match. Cool. Squad-based player system. Now, this is what I like over here. Perhaps the feature that differentiates Warzone the most from the other Battle Royale games is something called Plunder. And it's an in-game currency earned during matches by defeating enemies or completing missions. Plunder is a valuable resource which can be used to purchase gear from various locations in the middle of a match. A currency available to you in the middle of a match. What does that mean? Can you go pick up some armor, some more weapons?
Yeah, and it'll only affect that game.
Within that game.
Okay.
However, plunder is a valuable resource which can be used to purchase gear from various locations in the match. However, players defeated while holding plunder will drop the resource for enemy players to loot. So you drop your cash if you die. The risk-reward dynamic is further strengthened by the introduction of banks, which can be used to store your collected plunder for future matches. You can use it right away when you collect it, or you can decide, hey man, I'm gonna die. I need to get to a bank so I can keep this for future important matches. But if you go to a bank to deposit your plunder, that will alert every nearby player to your presence inside the bank along with your loot. So there's a downside to using the bank, that you're probably more likely to die after depositing your plunder. In another interesting genre twist, death isn't necessarily the end in Warzone. Instead, defeated players can be sent to the Gulag, a prison where they'll compete for a chance to respawn onto the battlefield. Once you're inside the Gulag, you will wait your turn for a 1v1 battle against another player, with the winner returning to Battle Royale. Whoa. Whoa. Good Lord, man. There's so many mechanics.
It's a mission.
I get all juiced up on the mechanics. I'm picturing these programmers thinking, yeah. Imagine they have the boardroom meeting. They're like, Gulag.
1v1.
1v1. It's like you're in prison, Will. And you know what happens to a guy like you in prison, first of all? It's not good. It's not good, Will.
Yeah.
But you might get a shot 1v1 to make a name for yourself. The tough guy's standing right over there. And you say, you know what? Don't underestimate me. I got something here for you. The other dynamic with the cash thing, do you determine? Okay, so if you can store your plunder for a next match, how much are you carrying on you at any given time? That risk-reward scenario is so interesting. Because if I really want to win a match, I'm going to carry a lot of plunder because I'm going to need to re-up on the resources from time to time if I want to be heavy in that match. But you die right away coming into the match loaded with the plunder from the previous that you saved in the bank. That could be a big economic swing. That's like robbing somebody. Imagine the word gets out that you like to travel with some hot plunder.
Ugh.
Like I'm saying, for players that have a name for themselves.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. The dynamics of it are bananas. There you go. Yeah, maybe you sit in the Gulag. Maybe you want to get popped early so you're safe in the Gulag.
And then I'm facing a guy with a rocket launcher? Oh, okay.
No, because in the 1v1, I'm assuming you don't bring anything into the jail.
So what do you get then?
You probably...
just fist?
I don't know if it's fists. Maybe but you might have the same weapon. I don't know. Maybe there's a weapon sitting in the middle. You got to race for it. I don't know. But it's just interesting to me. Outside the realm of the game itself, we understand the shooting mechanics. You understand a first-person view in an enemy. Now, the dynamic or modern. The innovation is happening around it.
Yeah, it's more refined.
Within these mechanical components that aren't necessarily part of the core game, but instead enhance your interactivity with the core game. Change the way you perceive the core game. And Fortnite with V-Bucks, there's this progression aspect that goes along with it. But you could never use that money, the V-Bucks, in game. It's just wearing a flashy outfit. I never cared that. I get it. You're proud. You got the hot outfit, but it didn't really do much for you in the game. The idea of progressing towards something that will definitely change outcomes inside the game, the dudes that play more are going to have some incredible advantages. And so therefore, how are they going to put it down when they know if they put the game down, the next dude is going to be coming with double the plunder that they do because they just didn't commit themselves enough. It's just really interesting. It's gonna wreak havoc on the psyche of players around the world. But something tells me that's what players like and love. Now, obviously, it's a different game than Fortnite. I'm not saying it's going to completely displace Fortnite. I'm just saying it's interesting to me. Maybe I'll give it a half hour. Maybe I'll give it a half hour.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get in that gulag. Little 1v1. Give it a half hour here or there.